Welcome to LifeBlood. This is George G, and the time is right. Welcome to today's guest, strong and powerful Charlotte Dunford. Charlotte, are you ready to do this?
Yes, I am.
All right, let's go. Charlotte is the managing partner of Johns Creek Capital. They are a mobile home park syndicator. Excited to have you on. Charlotte, tell us a little bit about your personal life, some more about your work, and why you do what you do.
Right. So thanks for having me on. So my name's Charlotte Dunford, the partner at Johns Creek Capital. So what I do is we focus on small to medium level mobile home parks, uh, focusing on this niche and uh, pretty much committed to investors generating um, good returns through mobile home park investments.
And how did you just wake up one day and say, you know what, sounds good, I want to do mobile home park syndicating? How does that evolve?
Right. So when I graduated college, initially, I pretty much just took a job, and I was always interested in real estate. Since coming from China, it was really impossible to own real estate. You could only lease it from the government. So that was always attractive to me. So I pretty much started buying real estate immediately using my salary to qualify for deals. And after two deals, one is single family, the other one is multifamily. Sorry, duplex. It was nowhere near enough to qualify anymore using the small salary I got as a, out of college, just out of college business analyst. Even though it's a great college and a great job, but still two deals was the maximum I could get. So and and then at the time, I just decided to take a jump and take a kind of a calculated risk for me to um, to start my own company, and that's when I started in 2020, and grew to what we have today in 2022, 26 mobile home parks. So the reason I chose mobile home parks was because it was really just a blue ocean strategy play. It was not I was not able to it was extremely difficult to get into um, a space such as multifamily because the big boys or the experienced people have been at it for decades. But mobile home park, it's been a pretty long ignored sector. So I was able to get in, and there's still uh, big enough of a pie and enough room left in the pie to have a share.
I respect and appreciate that so much, that you come to the United States and you say, oh my goodness, this is amazing. You can buy real estate here, and you just immediately start doing it. I think that that's such a wonderful lesson for anybody to take. Is that just part of your DNA, or just seeing an opportunity and taking action? Because not everybody can do that.
Right. So, well, first of all, I came here when I was 16, and you know, so I still, I was a kid, and my parents never came with me. So I came by myself, pretty much just hopped on a plane to go to a high school here in America, and lived with the host family, and then got to college and everything. Had to learn English. So I think, well, it could definitely be part of DNA just to be more adventurous. But at the same time, it was really a lot of it had to do with the background. Um, uh, Coming from a place where it was really quite dark, and there were really no opportunities, and everything was felt really oppressive, and then all of a sudden you're presented with this land of opportunities. So it was very natural for me to want to just really use everything that I could to move forward, to improve myself, and to make the best out of life.
Amen. I think that's awesome, and congratulations. So 26 parks in a little over 2 years. That's very impressive. So I think that's great. What are in its blue ocean? There's still opportunity. It's still a massive market, even though people are starting to pay a little closer attention to it. What is so attractive to you about mobile home park investing?
First of all, I, I think it's as simple as affordable. Sorry, is an affordable housing business. So first of all, and second of all, is a parking lot business. So it's attractive because first of all, it's in the market space. It's still blue ocean. Secondly, um, the supply and demand is there. So there is the ever growing demand for affordable housing, and supply is limited because there are zoning regulations that it's extremely difficult to build new mobile home parks. So the supply is extremely limited. Actually, a lot of legislatures and local city, county. It rarely goes to the state level, but local city, county definitely they don't want mobile home parks to exist in their city because the stigma. But some cities are see as a way to solve their affordable housing crisis, and it is. But because of the zoning regulations, it's almost impossible and extremely difficult if you could do it at all to build new mobile home parks. So the supply is limited and demand is ever growing, and the blue ocean strategy ensures that you have still have room to seek this opportunity, and that's why it is attractive, and you were able to get the return and going into a deal with a cap rate higher than a lot of other asset classes. We actually just sold a park, just exited a park um, last week. So it was a less than 2 years old, 22 month holding period. We bought it in June 2020 at 325,000. We sold it just last week at 492,500. So that's the kind of capital, and then we've been making distributions all along the way. So overall, investors are looking at a annualized return over 20%. So that's the return level that you can look at in mobile home parks.
And certainly people are interested in that. And as the stock market is doing whatever it's going to be doing, and for the foreseeable future, it's just a lot of uncertainty. Looking for different opportunities to invest in that aren't correlated, I think, is certainly an attractive thing. So I appreciate you sharing
Absolutely.
that, and what a great 2-year investment that you made on that one, and hopefully they all go just as well. When you make when you're decided on an acquisition and you're looking at the park, how are you then looking? Are you interested in also improving it? How is that possible, if at all?
Yeah, so there are certain value adds that we can do. First of all, we have to buy this as a right. So acquisition is extremely important process that we have 15 major parameters that consist of, including some of the most important ones are, the spread between, meaning the percentage difference between the cap rate you're purchasing the park at and the interest rate. And the secondly is the utility structure. How are the tenants paying for their utilities? And third one is the ratio between tenant-owned homes and park-owned home. You want to make sure that you have majority tenant-owned homes at the park. So those are just the top three. There are 15 major parameters that we utilize in our internal algorithm. It's kind of a proprietary algorithm that we use to qualify our deals. So you have to buy right. They say that, there's a saying, very cliche, but it's true, is you make the money when you buy. So it's extremely true in this case as well. So once you buy wrong, everything is too late. So you buy right, first of all, and then after acquisition, the first thing we do is we pretty much raise rent by anywhere from $25 to $50 upon acquisition. We give the tenants proper notice depending on the state regulations, usually 30 days, sometimes they go to 60 days. So because there is already a lot of meat on the bones, and lot rents are incredibly low to start with. For example, here in the Southeast, lot rents are anywhere from $150 to $250, if not lower. And in the Midwest, you're looking at $300 or so. In some areas four, but mostly three. So they're incredibly low to start with comparing with other housing products in the same market, such as apartment buildings and single family rentals and housing mortgages and what the tenant would have to pay for. So they're low to start with. So there's room to increase rent, and it's easier for the tenant to stomach than a $500 increase as it would happen in an apartment building. So that's usually the first thing, and you can push back utilities. So you have to do whatever it takes to increase your NOI, the net operating income, which directly correlates to your value of the park. And then number three, the general conditions of the park is extremely important too. If there are dead trees on the lot, which I really wouldn't want anybody to buy anything with a dead tree on the mobile home park. But if there is any trash, there's anything that you can remove to increase the security and the safety of the neighborhood, then that's definitely a value add as well. So a lot of the cosmetic upgrades, adding new fencing, uh, adding a new sign, and adding new banners, all of those could be a part of the value add play.
That makes sense. And so going back to what you said sort of initially was that um, you're interested in more of a parking lot, and that's related to you would rather have um, all tenant owned homes versus a lot of park owned homes. Because if
Yes.
it's all park owned homes, you're essentially buying an apartment.
You are, and you're buying a worse than an apartment because um, park-owned homes, mobile homes, if they're old, then they have a lot of problems. And in mobile homes, they're titled as cars. Just think about you're getting a bunch of used cars with that are breaking down, that it's really not functioning. So that's really not the business you want to be in. You want to be in business of the land business, and that's where the attractiveness is.
Got it. That certainly makes sense, and I imagine that not that many people know that, or maybe everybody knows that. But okay. Um, so interesting. So rents in the South are lower than they are in the Midwest.
Yes.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yes, it is. It is a slightly lower. Things are catching up, but because it's just the housing differences, right? So in the Midwest, if you're looking at a single family, I'm talking about averages. So um, a single family home, right? So in the market in the South, but again, the South is a huge area, and depending on the state and market, submarket, MSA, the generally speaking, single family homes are lower priced than in the Midwest on average. So that's why on average, their lot rents are lower.
Got it.
Mm.
Are you seeing trends of um, on Instagram and social media? I see people retrofitting vans and traveling around the country and really enjoying that kind of a lifestyle. And there is a need for affordable housing. Are you seeing trends of or demographic shifts in the folks who are living in mobile home parks?
I think the demographics at the mobile home parks stay similar. There are two types of people who want to go into mobile home parks. One is the ones that kind of seek a lifestyle of mostly on the West Coast, just to seek that affordability, but at the same time is they think is a cool idea to live in a mobile home and just kind of camp out. And I would say, if they work for a big company out west and just really save money. But that's the vast majority. I mean, sorry, minority of
Hmm.
this set class. The majority are people who actually work at, um, I think, restaurants and slightly lower paying jobs, and looking for that affordability and less expensive housing option. That will be the majority of the customers that we face.
Got it. Well, I appreciate you clearing that up for me. So, what does the future hold for you and Johns Creek Capital?
Right. So right now we have 26 parks, and we are looking to acquire pretty rapidly the second half of 2022, and certainly into the future. And in the future, near future, we are looking to, once everybody becomes more comfortable and when the opportunity strikes, we are looking to establish a kind of a fund, a core plus fund to acquire light value add properties, just like the one that we kind of we recently sold to continue delivering that return and scale at a more rapid speed. But we're already going pretty fast, but that would just make everything even faster and would help us scale and would also benefit our investors from a diversification perspective.
Love it. Well, Charlotte, the people are ready for that difference making tip. What do you have for them?
Well, I think the most important thing is to take action. And in the beginning, sorry, in the beginning, doing something is always better than not doing anything. So you will figure it out from the experiences that happens along with doing something. So if you want to start a company, you want to start on a journey, the most important thing is to take action and see where the journey leads you. And eventually you will develop a system and the processes that you would need to do things on a more systematic level. But what you need to do right now, if you haven't started, is to start taking action.
Well, I think that is great stuff. It definitely gets it. Come on. So well said. Just got to get started. Charlotte, thank you so much for coming on. Where can people learn more about you? How can they engage with you and Johns Creek Capital?
The best way to reach me is to go to johnscreekcapital.com, our website, and go ahead and fill out that contact form. I usually reach out pretty quickly afterwards.
Excellent. Well, if you enjoyed this as much as I did, show Charlotte your appreciation and share today's show with a friend who also appreciates good ideas. Go to johnscreekcapital.com and fill out the contact form and get in touch with Charlotte and see if this is a good opportunity for you. Thanks again, Charlotte.
Thank you so much for having me.
And until next time, keep fighting the good fight. We are all in this together.